Hi guys, this is a redirect to my reaction to Avatar The Last Airbender Season 3, episodes 10, 11, 12 and 13. Some great episodes again. Damn, so much has happened. The war has finally begun, and it was really intense. A lot went down. And I'm really glad Zuko has finally joined Aang's crew. I'm so glad Zuko and literally he stood up to his own father. That was amazing to see him say that the Fire Nation are so wrong and are so twisted, and we should create peace and harmony rather than create war all the time and be so full of hatred, you know. So I'm so glad he went against not only his father but the whole Fire Nation, and he was pursuing Aang. He really wants to join Aang's crew, to join Aang's mission to create peace and order in the world. But it was going to be challenging because obviously it's not going to be easy for Aang and his crew to accept Zuko. But before we get onto that, let's talk about the war. So the war started with Aang and the crew gathering their allies. So we saw a lot of supporting characters back. We saw the swamp people and the swamp monster guy that was using water bending to waterbend all of that seaweed around him to make that swamp monster. I forgot what it was called. I think it was called a swamp monster, but he was such a badass. The way he was moving his arms around and like just destroying all those Fire Nation ships and vehicles and like cannons that were thrown at Aang and them, like badass. Everyone was a badass, and everyone did their part. Um, uh, it was chaotic. Like the technology guy, the engineer the weapons engineer who made those weapons for the Fire Nation. The Fire Nation were using them, and so he felt really disheartened, and he felt really guilty that he actually created those weapons for the Fire Nation. Even though he is siding with Aang now, obviously. But back then he was forced to make those weapons for the Fire Nation. So he felt really sad that his own weapons were being used for evil purposes. And unfortunately they lost to that mini war. I mean, the war in general is still going on, but it's just at a halt at the moment. I just mean in the sense that there's still the Fire Nation that Aang still needs to defeat. So Aang, he actually wanted to fight Fire Lord Ozai, who's Zuko's father, but literally the Fire Nation actually evacuated because they already knew that that Aang's crew were going to use the Day of the Black Sun to actually take out the Fire Lord. Because the Black Sun, when the Black Sun actually shows, that is when the Fire Nation lose their firebending power. So that's why they wanted to use that time to their advantage. But unfortunately, Azula, the bitch, and everyone, they found out that Azula a few episodes ago, because she disguised herself as a Kyoshi warrior, she was able to get information from Aang's crew. From someone from Aang's crew. But so yeah, that was really unfortunate that Azula knew in advance about this, and kept it quiet from them. So that's why Aang's plan did not work, because they evacuated because they already knew that they were going to come on the Day of the Black Sun. So they hid underground, and they actually did manage to find them because Toph is very smart and she's so useful in so many ways. Her seismic sense really helps with knowing where people are hiding. Like, she might be blind, but she knows where you are. She will know because she feels it underneath. She feels it from the earth around her, who's around, and it's amazing how she does that. So they were able to find where well, not exactly where Ozai was, but they did confront Azula, and Azula, she was powerless, but she was using these earthbenders to fight Aang's crew, so she actually came prepared. Even though she didn't have any firebending skill, she was still really skilled in the sense that she was able to dodge all of their attacks and run away easily and play mind games as well. Like, she was proper trying to delay them. And then eventually Aang's crew caught on. Meanwhile, Zuko is confronting his father somewhere quite close by, and he was, as I said before, he was telling him that what they're doing is absolutely wrong. He wants to create peace, and it really pissed off Ozai, but obviously Ozai had no firebending skill, so I guess that's why they didn't actually fight. I mean, Zuko could have fought him, like he was like prepared to like fight him, but he walked away. Saying that he's no longer part of the Fire Nation, he's gonna actually join Aang's crew to help him defeat him. So that takes a lot of guts to say that to your own father. And go against your own society, community. So I respect Zuko for finally like seeing reason. Like, it took a while, it really did take a while, but I'm so glad he finally saw the wrong in like supporting these kind of scumbags, you know. But of course it was going to be hard to get to convince Aang's crew that he's actually on the good side now, and I'm so glad Iroh actually helped him to see just how wrong the Fire Nation are. And Iroh in the meantime actually escaped from the prison. So, oh man, I can't wait for the next couple of episodes. I want to see Iroh in action. And I actually, so when Zuko, he was basically Aang's crew after the war, because they actually lost. So Aang's crew went to the Western Air Temple, and because they really wanted to find the answer to how to they wanted to rest, as well as Aang being determined to find a firebending teacher for him, because he still needs to learn firebending. He has learned all the other elements, but it's firebending that he still hasn't learned. So it was a mission to like figure out how Aang will firebend, but Zuko was listening in to that conversation, so he tried to confront them and tell them that he's now good, and that he's even willing to be a prisoner if he doesn't, if they don't believe him. Unfortunately, Aang's crew were not convinced at all by what Zuko said, especially when he confessed that he was the one that actually sent the third eye assassin after them. And then when the third eye assassin was attacking Aang's crew, Zuko tried to protect Aang's crew from the third eye assassin as proof that he's actually trying to protect them on the side. So I'm glad that they finally like understood where Aang was, even though I do totally understand why Aang's crew was so pissed off at Zuko, because Zuko did do a lot of bad things at them. So like, especially Katara, 'cause she was particularly betrayed by Zuko, because she felt sorry for Zuko when Zuko was telling her about his mother, which was actually a true tale, but she thought it was all bullshit just to trick them. It was not bullshit. He was actually telling the truth, but he had to side with Azula at that time. It was in the season 2 finale that happened. So that's why Katara was particularly and she wants to protect Aang at all costs, obviously, and Sokka as well. Sokka, he was very unconvinced as well. Toph, she was like, I think he's telling the truth. I just want to learn more about this guy, because she joined like afterwards, like a lot later on. But unfortunately her feet got burnt when she was trying to talk to Zuko. Anyway, they all eventually agreed with Aang. Aang actually accepted Zuko into the crew because he does need a firebending teacher, so Zuko was going to be Aang's firebending teacher, but then Zuko found that his own firebending is not that powerful. It's not as powerful as it was because he has lost his motive, his drive, his inner fire. So that was why it's because of his change that has made him lose. I mean, not completely. It just weakened his firepower. So I thought that was. I mean, that's a bummer. That's quite a shame if it's just because he changed, because he really did need to change. But it turns out that they needed to find the true meaning of how to wield fire so that they can both firebend. So Aang and Zuko went to this old temple where the Sun Warriors are, and they will face the judgment of these two firebending masters who are absolute masters, to see if they are worthy to know the true secrets of how to firebend properly, like like how to really firebend. Because the Fire Nation are known to firebend out of rage and anger, but Zuko does not want to rely on anger and hate in order to firebend. So I really like the whole message that it's really about harmony. So that's the lesson that they learned when they met the two dragons. We also got information that Iroh actually also visited the two dragons, and he actually learnt the secrets to firebending as well. So, and I kind of caught on that because Iroh said in a previous episode that he has like this dragon style type of firebending. I thought like maybe he also learned firebending from the true masters of firebending. But then again, I didn't actually say it, but like I kind of like thought in my mind, you know. So it turns out Iroh did learn the actual secrets, and now Zuko and Aang can firebend because they've also learned the secret of of how to actually trigger firebending and how to actually use it to its proper use, the true meaning of firebending. You gotta find your inner fire, you've got to be harmonious with your firebending, because there were like so many colours that were like, you know, whirling around them. So it was really interesting. It's like balancing your emotions, and also you gotta have an actual motive, an actual goal in life. That's the kind of thing that I was picking up from. So that was interesting. Yeah. So it's really good that Aang has learned, at least to some extent, some firebending skills. So he just needs to practice on them. So yeah, I'm really glad Zuko is now part of the crew. Yay! I'm just looking forward to seeing more Iroh action and just more badassery, and where this war is going to take them next. The storyline is going to take them next. What did you think of these episodes? Let me know, and stay tuned for more.